the truth.
6 years, I've seen everything, and I'm sure I'll start to see some patterns around how teams defend, us this year. Tonight, like you said, they have a lot of length too, and they're flying around everywhere on the defensive end. Got some pretty decent looks, consistently, just a matter of, making them. But again, it's not overreacting to one game, just trying to figure out how we can just take baby steps at this point and put together a great quarter and put together a great half and just compete. So I'm sure the film session tomorrow won't be pretty.
Hey, Steph, you faced the Clippers
6% from three. How much do you chalk that up to them just making a bunch of shots? And then what did you see from the defensive
Our defense
execution?
was atrocious. They hit some shots. You got to give them some credit. But when you get in the type of rhythm they were allowed to get in, you're going to hit shots. And a lot of them was open. So give them some credit. They're a damn good team. But our defense was pathetic.
Was there something specific defensively?
Everything. Off the ball, on the ball, pick and roll coverage, transition defense. It was bad across the board.
But how do you assess this game and what it means just sort of for this team as a whole going forward?
The easy answer is it's 1 of 82, but there are some glaring things that we need to kind of correct if we're going to, win basketball games consistently. Obviously, credit the Clippers. They came off a pretty hard-fought, intense battle in L.A. Game 1, so they were battle-tested just in terms of being in that situation, and they started that first 6 minutes, with that same intensity. We fought our way back into it, made it interesting. And then they hit us with our typical third quarter type of vibe. So I think a lot of it's just the little things that are going to help us compete and be in games, turnovers, which, obviously I had 8 of them, and then rebounding the basketball. Those possessions are key for us. Our margin for error is really slim. So those things we got to correct if we're going to compete, and we understand that. We just got to do it.
Did you experience like a dead arm there for a moment? Did you really have to shake that off?
Yeah, it was pretty dead and painful. But, it's still sore, like really sore. But it'll get better.
What did it take for you to come back out and play through that pain tonight?
It was hurting the whole night, but just iced it and, kind of got some releases done back there and just came back out.
Draymond, you've obviously had some great opening nights here, getting rings, stuff like that.
Barkley talked to Clay at halftime and said that after just one half, he could see that the team would not make the playoffs, and Clay brushed it off and kind of laughed at it. When you hear something like that from a guy like him, how do you take it?
I don't really listen to anything that he says.
Steve, you were talking maybe over the summer about maybe doing some different things offensively than you've done in the past. Hadn't seen much of that in the preseason. Were you doing different stuff? Or have you put in different stuff, or are you kind of still assessing how much you want to do differently?
We've put in a few things that are slightly different, but we're not revamping our system or anything. We're still running a lot of the same stuff that we've run. We have to assess our team, and we also have to respect what we've done here and respect that Steph, Draymond, Loon, Clay when he's back. Those guys have been really successful doing what we've done. So we'll evaluate as we go. I think we'll continue to assess everything as each game goes, and we'll see what we're doing well, what we're doing poorly, and we'll try to improve from there.
How would you assess the effort tonight?
I think the effort for the most part was there. I thought we got a little demoralized in the second half. We battled in the first half, came back from a big deficit early, and then third quarter, we started to get blown out, and I could see some heads hanging. But the guys at the end, closed the game, playing hard, and that's what we're going to have to stay on them about. Just the young guys on a night like tonight, which is going to happen again. I mean, this is not not a one-off. This is the reality. There's going to be nights like this year. So you got to play through it, and you got to keep fighting and keep getting better, and that's the plan. I'm thinking about John McKay's old line. What'd you think of your defensive or your team's execution? I'm all for it. Sorry, that's poor taste. This was bad, but give the Clippers credit. They've got a hell of a team over there, and they showed that Tuesday night, and they came in here and knocked down everything. But when you have as many young guys as we do, there's going to be a lot of situational stuff that they haven't seen and they don't recognize. And so we're going to come in tomorrow, watch a lot of film, and there's going to be some growing pains like tonight. But we've got to fight through it, and we've got to teach these young guys and help them grow, help them learn, and just try to get better as we go forward.
For the last 5 years, how do you handle it?
Not great, or it doesn't feel very good. Losing stinks. It's no fun. But you just this is more the reality of the NBA than the last 5 years. We've been living in a world that isn't supposed to exist. 5 years that basically was, record-wise, I believe the best stretch if anybody's ever had over 5 years. So this is reality. Nine guys, 23 or younger, and we're starting over in many respects. So we've got to be patient, and we got to fight, and we got to continue to teach as a staff, and the players have to continue to absorb and learn, and we'll get better. I know that.
Shoot the basketball from outside, so 62%, 54% is not going to get it done. No matter if we make shots or not, so that jumps off the stat sheet pretty crazy.
Steph, Steve was in here and said, losing stinks. He didn't have much fun with that, and what you guys have had here the last 5 years is not typical. This is more the reality of the NBA. But how do you, as one of the veterans, sort of, maybe growing pains, be patient through this and keep this team, going in the right direction on nights like this?
It's all a matter of perspective. Like you said, it's not a good feeling at all. Especially when you're opening up a new building, and just excited about the opportunity. I understand the Clippers are a really good team, and they played like it tonight, but again, there are things that are going to be constant themes for us throughout the year. That whether it's me, Draymond, Loon, all the way down to the youngest guy on this team, we're going to have to really focus in on. Like I said, the turnovers, rebounding basketball, and just our defensive presence in general. I think over the course of the season, we're going to score enough points because we have some talent on that end of the floor. It's just a matter of how bad we want it on the other end, and the sense of urgency. So it is one game. Sucked out there tonight. Got to come back and beat OKC on Sunday.
Steph,
What'd you think of how Steph handled all the pressure he was seeing?
He did a great job. Steph Curry at the end of the day. I feel like he did a great job of just handling all the pressure, picking his spots. But I feel like he did a great job just the whole night, just keeping his composure and staying aggressive.
Those two guys. You got we're playing a good team, of course. Heart of a champions. Their first home game, we knew they're gonna come out with a lot of energy. This one, we know it's not one guy that can do it, especially with those guys. Those guys are premier all-stars. We just try to make it as hard as possible. We didn't want to do everything in the beginning. We wanted to kind of, beat them down. to the point that, and it was me, Mo, of course, Kawhi, Sham did a hell of a job, and we just kept putting bodies on and try to make it as tough as possible, and we were fortunate to get a win today.
Did you expect?
Go.